I walked up with all my bags and they were all just falling around the place, and they were just like, ah, here she is now, here's Ireland.
1967, I arrived out in Cape Town. One of my early recollections was what they called petty apartheid. They called me Mkwemte, which is a clan name, and it's like praise names. Mkwemte, Dabane, Meke, Sigadi, Kokiswa.
I never in my wildest dreams even had an inkling that I would be living in Far Eastern Asia.
Well, I came here in 2007 and I got engaged at Niagara Falls. So I have a love for Canada from that point of view anyway.
And I think it benefits all the ways. Like they're learning hurling and I'm learning Spanish still, practicing Spanish, and yeah, it's brilliant.
I feel I'm a different person when I speak, English, when I speak Russian, when I speak French, when I speak Irish. These are sort of like different personas I put on.
I moved to London about 6 years ago to work for Dazed and Confused. I assisted Nicola Formichetti, who was the senior fashion director at the time, for 2 years. And then I kind of went out on my own, so I've been doing my own thing now for the past 4 years. Without me pursuing it or being really kind of obsessed by it, or, I was just into it and hardworking. I worked my ass off. I deserve it. I earned it.
The reason why I came here was because I was travelling in New Zealand and I met a girl from Argentina and she brought me here a year and a half ago.
At a particular funeral, this lieutenant, whatever, came up to me and caught me by the cassock here and said, "You're under arrest." And I said, "Oh, you've made my day." He says, "What's your name?" So I said, "It's O'Riordan." And he says, "Oh, that sounds Irish." I said, "Of course it's Irish." He said, "I'm also Irish. I'm Lieutenant O'Reilly," he said. I said, "No, you couldn't be Irish. We wouldn't claim a sellout like you." And I automatically punched him in the solar plexus.
My father is Russian and my mother's French. Of course, that was an ancient civilization that had existed in the places where I lived, in France. And so when I found out that, of course, they were living Celtic cultures, I wanted to find out as much as possible about them.
This is the screen and the throne of the Forbidden City, the last emperor's seat. Of course, it's a copy, worth a few bob. I'm a little bit of a nomad, so I tend to call Asia home and Ireland home. Where's home? I don't know.
Irish culture surviving is not so much through becoming like a museum, but through taking these forms that exist and evolving them into something that interests every new generation.